but it was under 50% capacity. There's no one in the upper bowl, and it's half empty the other.
That is crazy as hell. I mean,
Angel Reese is having a really hard time after her first game of the season. It's so bad that it's actually a bit embarrassing to watch.
6,373 people.
The arena was made to hold over 13,000 fans, but not even half the seats were filled. Tickets were so cheap they cost less than a pack of gum. Poor Reese. What's the excuse for that?
People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game.
Angel Reese has always called herself a game changer in women's basketball. She's bold, confident, and never afraid to show it to the world.
Well, it's not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
One of Angel Reese's most talked about statements was, "The reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too." That bold comment got a lot of attention and started debates, but it also set high expectations for the kind of impact she said she had. Now, the big question is, do the numbers actually support what she said?
new head coach Tyler Marsh is busy installing a different vision for Chicago's offense. This guy planned to use second-year power forward Angel Reese much differently than how she was deployed in her rookie season.
Fast forward to Angel Reese's much-anticipated homecoming game, her first game of 2025. It was meant to be her big moment to prove she truly was a face of women's basketball. People expected a sold-out arena, thousands of excited fans, and clear proof that she was a star she claimed to be. But in reality, things didn't turn out the way everyone expected.
So I think it's time to finally, end the argument. End the argument that there is any sort of, other needle mover.
Out of the 13,015 seats in the LSU arena, only 6,300 were filled. Yes, you heard that right. Less than half the arena was full. And this wasn't just a regular game. It was supposed to be her big game.
That is even remotely close to Caitlin Clark.
Now, to really understand the situation, let's compare it to Caitlin Clark, someone who has clearly made a huge impact in women's basketball and brought a lot of attention to the sport.
They could have put black tarps over it. Look at that. Look at that.
Caitlin Clark has been filling up arenas wherever she plays, and sometimes the demand is so high that venues have to be changed just to fit all the fans.
And we know she can hit layups. We've seen them. We've seen them over and over. I've seen plenty of videos.
Whether it's her amazing three-pointers or her exciting energy on the court, fans can't get enough of Caitlin Clark. She's not just selling tickets. She's creating special moments that people want to be there for in person.
And just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball.
The difference with Angel Reese is clear. Despite having a huge following on social media and a big reputation, she couldn't get her home crowd to fill the seats.
The Chicago Sky go into LSU, the home court of Angel Reese. Man, it's going to be lit. It's going to be lit.
This isn't a takeaway from Angel Reese's talent. She's definitely a great player. But when it comes to drawing crowds and taking the sport to the next level, Caitlin Clark is in a league of her own. Hailey Van Lith, another well-known name in women's basketball, also hasn't come close to matching Clark's star power, making Clark the clear standout in the sport.
In case you were wondering, I did do the math. How many seats were actually left last night? Over 6,800.
Let's talk about LSU's arena for a moment. It's a beautiful, shiny space that can hold 13,215 fans. The kind of place that should be completely packed, right? Especially for a homecoming game with Angel Reese, who's called herself a game changer in women's basketball.
In a 13,000 capacity arena, there was over 6,800 seats still available. And some people were saying, by the way, that literally there were some $15 tickets out there.
But here's the twist. The turnout wasn't just disappointing. It was downright embarrassing. Only 6,300 people showed up. Not even half of the arena's capacity. If the arena had feelings, it probably would have sighed in disappointment.
Angel Reese going home to her alma mater, LSU, plays against the Brazilian national team in front of 6,373 people.
And let's not forget about the ticket prices. Just $15. That's cheaper than a combo meal at most fast food places these days. You'd think people would jump at the chance to see greatness for the price of a burger and fries, but apparently not. Even LSU's regular games, without all the hype, drama, or Angel's homecoming storyline, have had better attendance. When your big return draws fewer people than a random midseason game, something's definitely off. Now, Angel Reese is no stranger to the spotlight. She has millions of followers on Instagram and other platforms, where every post, story, and clever response gets its share of attention. But let's address the elephant in the room. Where were all those loyal followers when it was time to show up in person? It seems like Angel's online fan base is great at liking photos, but not so good at, buying tickets.
And I wonder how her fans are going to feel about that. If she's further away from the basket, that doesn't mean there's going to be a lot of, or as many, I would believe, offensive rebound opportunities.
Social media engagement is one thing. People love a good selfie or a TikTok dance, but it doesn't always translate into real fandom. The seats don't fill themselves, and no amount of fire emojis will make up for rows of empty seats at the game. This raises a tough question. Is Angel Reese more famous for her basketball skills or for her influencer persona? The numbers don't lie, and they are telling a story that Angel probably doesn't want to hear.
Look, the WNBA still got problems. They got problems over and beyond one player. I don't know what they do about it.
And this isn't just an Angel Reese problem. It's a bigger issue with the social media era. Followers may be a form of currency, but they don't pay the bills. Real world impact means people are willing to leave their homes, spend their money, and invest their time. Right now, it seems Angel's followers aren't making that jump.
Angel Reese versus the Brazilian national team, the Chicago Sky, against that team at LSU. And now we get word from the coach that Angel Reese is going to have a modified role.
Now, let's talk about what happened after the game, because the drama didn't stop with the final buzzer. Angel Reese has always embraced the victim-villain persona, playing up how misunderstood and unfairly treated she is, all while doubling down on her confidence. It's a delicate balance, but this time, it didn't quite work out.
New head coach Tyler Marsh is busy installing a different vision for Chicago's offense.
After the disappointing attendance, Angel didn't exactly take responsibility for the situation. Instead, she deflected. In her post-game statement, she shifted the focus, hinting that maybe the lack of support was someone else's fault. Her critics, her detractors, the system, or whatever convenient target fit the story. It was a classic move. Deflect, distract, and deny.
Let me just blow this. Look at that. I noticed it right off the bat. Look, number one, look at all the purple seats down here in this lower bowl section. And then the entire top bowl, forget about it.
This isn't the first time we've seen a gap between perception and reality, especially in the worlds of influencers and athletes. Many big names have fallen into the same trap, building an image that doesn't quite stand up to closer examination. It's one thing to have confidence, but when the hard facts tell a different story, the cracks begin to show.
We can stop the whole there's more than one needle mover as far as attendance goes as an individual.
Angel's meltdown might have been her way of trying to control the narrative, but it also highlighted the gap between her public persona and what's actually happening on the ground. The confidence is undeniable, but at some point, it needs to be backed up by real results. Empty seats and excuses don't exactly scream game changer.
I'm making this video because at the end of the day, we're still seeing like all of this like stuff online about, there's so many needle movers, like Caitlin Clark is not the needle.
If women's basketball had a queen, Caitlin Clark would be sitting on the throne, draped in gold, waving at her adoring fans. Forget the petty debates about who's changing the game. Clark isn't just filling arenas, she's making them burst at the seams. Schools are scrambling to book larger venues just to fit the crowd she attracts. Bigger venues for women's basketball? That's unheard of, but Caitlin makes it look effortless.
I do think there are teams that people show up to watch. Like, I think the Aces do a pretty decent job. I think the Liberty, in fairness to them, do a pretty decent job.
And it's not just Iowa fans showing up for her either. Caitlin Clark has a kind of universal appeal that goes beyond state lines, team loyalties, and even gender barriers. People don't just like her. They respect her.
Not even 50% sold out is crazy. Carver Hawkeye sold out 15,000 in 27 minutes.
She's the kind of player who attracts even casual sports fans who wouldn't usually watch women's basketball. In other words, she's not just a hometown hero. She's a national treasure.
When we're talking about individuals, there's only one that people are going to go out and watch. And it's not Hailey Van Lith, and it's most definitely not Angel.
The reality is clear. Caitlin Clark isn't just helping grow women's basketball. She's a reason it's growing. Her talent, humility, and ability to captivate audiences make her the full package. Angel Reese may have her moments, but let's be honest, Caitlin is the one driving the bus, while Angel is still trying to find a seat.
Continue to say, look, Angel has got a career as a content creator, as an influencer, Instaface.
Here's where things get a little awkward for Angel Reese. You see, there's a big difference between having fans and having followers. Fans show up, buy tickets, and cheer until they lose their voices. Followers, on the other hand, double tap your Instagram pics and maybe watch your TikToks during their lunch break. Guess which camp Angel supporters fall into?
Angel Reese fans are not basketball fans, and they are proving it. They proved it last night.
Angel Reese has mastered the influencer game. She's got the brand deals, viral moments, and magazine covers. But let's be real, her fame is more about drama than dunks. The people who support Angel aren't necessarily basketball fans. They're social media fans. They love the feuds, the sass, and the side eyes. But when it comes time to buy a $15 ticket, suddenly they got other plans. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's fans are crossing state lines, skipping work, and spending premium dollars just to see her play. They are not there for the selfies. They are there for the swishies. It's a level of devotion that Angel simply hasn't earned. At the end of the day, the stats speak louder than any post-game interview could. Caitlin Clark's games sell out, her revenue numbers soar, and her impact is measurable in cold, hard cash. Angel Reese? Not so much. When $15 tickets can't even fill a local arena, it's time to reevaluate the narrative. Angel may talk a big game, but the numbers don't lie. Caitlin Clark is a real MVP, and no amount of spin can change that. Like this video and subscribe to the channel to get updates on this season's WNBA games.